Tell you a little secret in Spanish.
Obviously, if you listen to Shake Your Moneymaker, whether you like it or not, I don't think there's a lot of people who are going to say it's fake, you know what I mean? As far as like how we live our lives as this band is the most important thing that there could be, you know what I mean? We're possessed by what we have to do. As far as the songs and what being in the Black Crowes mean, you deal with that a lot of different ways, some of which are not as nice as others, you know what I mean? But another thing to remember is you always have to make your gig every night, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. It's not like you're right to get on stage and wiggle your ass and do what you have to do. It's a privilege, man. I mean, even if we have a day off, who goes to sleep? I don't. You know what I mean? I don't think I've had a good night's rest since I was 13. It's just like, and then people are like, oh, how'd you adjust to life on the road? Ah, big young guys. It's like, I've lived like I was on tour since I was in high school, at home, in my parents' house, which is not the best thing for your mental or physical health, or things like relationships and family and your bank account. But there's no other way to be. It's the whole Bedouin existence, you know what I mean? At the end of the night, you pack everything on your camels and you head the hell out. I don't know where that divine itch came from that made us, you know, arrogant enough that we could run this up the flagpole. But when it's this close to you, you know what I mean? It's almost like when we started writing songs to this, it's almost been like a blur. hooked up with Def America, and George was at another record label, George Draculius, our producer. I just tossed you another $1, man. You owe me. And he saw us in New York, and he, as horrible as we were then, he liked what he saw, and kept in touch. We had a lot of common ground as fans, and he was like, I really, you know, think you guys are onto something. I was like, really? Yeah. He's like,
we had done demos for the other label with, you know, also, so there was some interest there.
Yeah, but he was like, well, we got a long ways to go, and I was like, well, let's do it. That label wouldn't sign us because we weren't metal enough. They're like, a rock and roll band, huh? So Rick called him up, Rick Rubin, and said, there's lots of records to be made. You want to come out and do it? Yeah. I'm bringing the Crows with me, though. So, you know, like, Rick really never had anything to do with our band. I mean, even though now he digs it and everything. It's nice. We were freed to make the record we wanted to make, which obviously was going to happen because we're very uncompromising people in that respect. You don't find the Black Crowes in situations that make them uncomfortable. If they do, we just walk out. What could be bad, you know what I mean? We have a record in the charts. I'm getting to do, like, my lifelong dream. It doesn't suck, you know?
Oh, God. It's impossible to get out of this car. But somehow I managed. Well, what do I say? This is the Rainbow Bar and Grill, Sunset Strip, West Hollywood, Los Angeles. Oh, hi. Hi, Mom. And what happens is all these guys in a rock and roll band sit around in these booths. And then all these girls with these little dresses that go up, you know, you can see their underwear from underneath. And sometimes they just come in their underwear, too. When I first came to LA, girls would just wear a brassiere, corset thing, and little underwear, and little, I don't know what those things are, those stocking-looking things. And they just walk around. And what they do is they do the parade. As they start the walk, and they walk all the way around, and then come back here and go to the bar, get a drink. They start again, walk all the way around again until somebody at the table finally says to them, hey, let me buy you a drink. And they sit down, and the next thing you know, could someone call us a cab? And that's pretty much how that works.
She just woke up, but she's too tired. Is that the telephone ringing? The curtains can't hold back the light. That's reaching into her dreams, down in her heart. If it had fingers, it'd be tearing it apart. You'd be looking groovy in a 60s movie. Maybe tell the press you died. Little legend, baby, try your very best to hide. Cling till it's 60s mind.
Apparently, they used to have these very long tablecloths on all the tables. And they had to stop that, and they had to remove this table thing because somewhere about the middle of the night, you could see little legs coming out from underneath with high heels on. And somehow there were girls under the table. I don't know. I guess they were maybe taking the gum off the bottom of the table or something. I don't know. It's something to do with chewing. I don't know.
She keeps her memories locked away, but they're always escaping.
So we decided to paint these girls instead of having them completely naked, because then no one would ever play our video. We painted them up. So we got them naked first and then painted them. And I didn't get them naked. They got them naked. I wasn't even there when it happened at first, but then we finally showed up, the girls were already painted. So, but one girl, the blue girl, the Russian girl, she was blue. She should have been green now that I think of it. The song's green, so maybe they can change it and whatever. And they needed to paint some big white spots on her. So of course, I had to volunteer immediately to help. So I was very studiously putting these spots on her. You'll notice, if you notice the video, there's a lot more spots around her middle area here than any other part of her body. So. My bass players are really informal. I don't know how to teach anything. I can't read music or anything. I'm just, you know, regular old rock band kind of bass player. So it's really funny for me to do a clinic because I don't know, like this scale here is a diminished minor, and I don't know what that is. So I just kind of play a little bit and then like talk and answer questions and stuff. And so it's a lot of fun. So I just I did 4 in England and 5 or 6 in Germany. I've got a new record out. It's called Lean Into It. Actually, the title came from what we saw on CNN. There was an air show, you know, an exhibition, and these jet fighters crashed into each other and broke apart, and one of them crashed into the crowd, and the horrifying carnage. It was horrifying. And when you see something like that, sometimes you got to kind of almost make a joke just to relieve yourself of the horrifying shock that's there. So sure enough, we're seeing this thing happen. I tell you, we were speechless, and I just said, well, what do you do if you're in the crowd and all of a sudden 10 tons of jet crashes, explodes, and 6 tons of jet screaming heat fuel encrusted jet engine is flying at your face at 5 feet away and about to hit you? What do you do? And Pat goes, lean into it. And that's exactly the spirit we went into this record with. You know, who cares? It doesn't matter. Just like, go ahead. So, next time you're traveling down Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California, sunny Southern California. This is what it looks like from the outside. That's the door over there. Come on in. I'll be at the bar. I'll buy you a drink and lean into it.
Unless you want to live like that. Stonewall, can't we see we're our own worst enemy? Our land set to hot, well, inland and man. Qualities soon to exhaust as man's greed poison to land. Once fresh, we're centers of life, so many a creature. Beauty without a defense, polluted never to replenish.
The company was originally set up in Holland. Amsterdam is our main office, but over the years we've just expanded to the extent that we have an office in the UK, an office in New York, an office in Cologne, and we just started to set up an office in Paris as well.
We pick up the bands that a major wouldn't take, and we try to develop them so that one day they may be picked up by a major and they'll have the chance, to be on a label that spends loads of money on them and promotes them with ads everywhere, here, there, and everywhere. But at the moment, our purpose, Roadrunner's purpose, is to pick up on smaller bands that are just developing and promote them as best we can.
I think we've definitely started to specialise in the heavier end of the market. Certainly the recent boom in death metal, I think we've done very well in that area.
Well, we're Cerebral Fix. I'm Simon Forrest, lead vocalist.
I'm Greg Fellows, rhythm guitar, but that's debatable at times.
We got involved with Roadrunner through a demo we did. We were on Vinyl Solution at the time. We were having difficulties, not enough backing from their half, so we had to digress to another label, which is bigger, better, stronger, sends out all around the world, so it was a lot better deal for us. They snapped us up when we did a demo for them.
I thought we was talking about Roadrunner here. I think having a smaller company is better because they concentrate on you more. You can actually come down and insult them face to face rather than over the phone, which is a lot better.
I don't mind a band calling me up and asking me a silly question. I'd like to think that we'd be quite happy to do that kind of thing, whereas a company like Polydor just wouldn't.
We can slag them off and they take it and do what we ask.
The band has total freedom over their own product. The songs that appear on there, the sleeve, everything about it. We're only there to offer guidance and help to make sure that the product is easy enough to market when it eventually comes out, but we never intervene as regards the content.
Hey, babe, what do you want me to say?
Tell me that you love me.
Well, you know I love you, but...
Well, then just say it.
Well, let's just do it.
Say it.
Well, it's just that you stink. But I love you.
You make me sick.
I'm not a specialist in Satanism. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about any religion. I'm an atheist. But if it's what they want to do, and if it's what they truly believe in, then fine, go ahead and do it. You know, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but you know, I'll promote it. I'll work with it.
We realize, you know, with a new album, we know that it's selling way better than any other album we released. And still, it's not that high on the Billboard charts as the last album is right now. And then we hear from our record label that certain managers of some of these big chain stores, you know, do not want to report the sales to Billboard because personally that manager doesn't like what we're doing. And that really sucks.
Hi, we're Bullet Boys, and you're watching Hard and Heavy.
What's the meaning of indefinitely? The meaning of indefinitely.
Thank you.
When my balls are slapping on your ass, I'm indefinitely.
Thank you for being so patient out there, because your Bullet Boys will be in a theater or drive-in or insane asylum near you very soon.
Thank you guys on the crew for your patience of putting up with us.
Yeah,
especially you in that beautiful Moon Star shirt.
Moon Star
I really like that.
Come on!
Fuck this guy up. Some more. Give him another one. What a pussy.
It started early on when I was probably 12 or 13 playing with wash puppets in the tub, and it just evolved into drug abuse and not caring about school anymore, and I'm just joking, okay, just joking. Wash puppets, we spent a lot of time with wash puppets in the hotel room. We're very clean. Yeah, we have a cable access television show, Kurt and I, where we review porno videos. We just have like a guest porn star whenever they come into town and sit with us and talk and review a video and talk about it. Well, the true story behind Jack Pepsi pretty much goes like the lyrics in the song are. A friend of mine from Amp, Idaho, we got blasted on some Jack Daniels and decided that we were going to take his dad's brand new 4x4 rig out for a ride. And we went out to Lake Lowell, which is just outside of Nampa, in between Boise, Idaho and Nampa. It's a little irrigation lake. It's about 12 feet deep at the most. It's winter time, it freezes over. We were out there spinning around on the ice, and the truck broke through. And we went underneath the water, and it seemed like forever. But it probably only took like 30 seconds, 40 seconds for all the water to get in. By that time, we were freezing our testicles off. And I just climbed up onto the top of the hood of the truck, the cab, and I kept trying to get up on the ice. And Jack got out first, being the lighter of the two. He helped me get out, but I broke through a couple more times on the way. to the shore, and that's the story. We sobered up real quick.
What do we got here from hard and stiff? I mean, heavy. Let's see. Okay. Let's go with this. I won't even look. So you got... All right. Did Alice Cooper do this once? You ever wonder if an octopus had hair, where that tooth thing was? Oh man! I ain't into this thing. I ain't in here, so. Alright. Next. Alice, where are you? Okay. Ooh, pussy. Mickey. Hang out, Mick. Here, Mick. Hold the beer. Mick's my friend. There you go. What else we got here? Having fun? That's why I got this job, because I can be as fucking weird as I want to, which is quite normal. What'd I say? The Oz man, the coolest motherfucker that ever walked the earth. We did open up for Ozzy and this tour, matter of fact. He took us through Canada, Europe, America. After Motley left the Ozzy tour, Ratt jumped right on. This is cool. This is classic. This is, well, obviously it's Motley. Stick to your guns. This is great. When Motley came out with this, Motley was about a year or two ahead of Ratt in the Hollywood scene. And this is one of the first things we got wind of when we really started playing the Strip, because we became friends with them, actually hung out with them on the Strip, and we had a street gang called the Gladiators, in which Ratt, when they wouldn't let us, there's one club on Santa Monica Boulevard on the corner of Santa Monica and Doheny. If you're from Los Angeles, you'll know exactly where it was, no names. But they wouldn't let Ratt play under the Ratt name. Okay, so anyway, what we did was we played under the name The Gladiators, and we sold out 2 shows that night, and anyway, so says they let us play there with the Ratt name after that. But Motley were one of the forerunners in Los Angeles, and I'm happy to say Ratt was too. Another record? Ooh, this is nice. This is my favorite to this day. And the thing went gold finally. Nobody fucking pushed the thing. Time goes forward. Anyway, this is our thanks back then, and it still is true to this day. 1991. This was 1983, I believe. We did this in 3 days over Thanksgiving weekend. 1 day to record, 1 day to mix, 1 day to master, and this thing was out. And this thing was played on 2 of the biggest stations in Los Angeles, which gave us our big break. Is this foolish naked man still in the picture here? Good. I hate those things. Anyway, this still remains the same. These thanks to all our families and all heavy metalists and dangerous women everywhere. Don't forget that. about it. Oh man, there's something soiled in here. Soiled panties. Let me take a whiff. Throw that thing back here just a moment. All right. Yeah, that's me, Mr. Right. You know, I did pose for this once, but I only showed my good side. You know, I didn't let it all hang out, but anyway, if you find it, good for you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Ronnie, guitar player from Kicks, and we're at Sunset Sound where we're recording our 5th album, Hotwire.
I'm Steve Whiteman, the vocalist and extraordinary harmonica player.
I'm Brian Damage, and I'm the other guitar player, and I'm sitting on this box.
We've been doing this for like 12 years now, and we're getting good at it. So this is it's going to be a quick record. It's going to be one that I think the kids are going to want to put on before they go to school, you know, and kind of like wake them up, get the motor moving, get the blood flowing. It's going to be one of them kind of records. We're proud of it. It's going to be a good one. I've been talking to some people out here, and they tell me that about all of our records. You know, I get your record out in the morning, and I put it on before I go to work, or I put it on before I go somewhere, and it always seems to get you going. And we like that. We like that kind of energy in our music. So I don't think it's much of a departure. It's just a high-energy rock and roll record. Well, our 4th record's one that broke, and up until that point, there was never any pressure, and we would just go out and do club tours. And after the last record broke, we were out on the road for like 18 months solid. And we actually got off the road last March. We were out with Whitesnake. By the time we got done, we were annihilated. We needed a break. So we just come home and took about a month off, and then spent the entire summer and fall writing and recording our demos and getting ready for this record. And we wrote about 21 new songs, and we had about another 20 in the can. So we come out with about 40 songs to choose from. And 10 was tough, you know. Only choosing 10 was really hard. We got about 3 more albums in the can. That's as you can tell, it's a very up-tempo, hard rock and roll song. It's like when you're a kid, you know, and you get your first couple records and you just play them and you play them and you play them and you got to get more and you're addicted and you just got to keep playing rock and roll because you're hooked on it. Rock and roll overdose. And it's harmless. You can't die. Tom's an easy guy to work with. He doesn't come in and say, I can get somebody to come in and do that better, or I can get some background singers that can sing better than you guys. Or that he lets the band be the band. We feel that sometimes your own flaws make the character of the band. And Tom allows that. He doesn't try to make you better than you are. He doesn't try to polish you up. And that's why the last album sounded like Kicks, you know, rather than layers and layers of shit. And we like that. We definitely like that. And that's why we wanted to use them again. Definitely. Most of our songs are guitar songs, guitar-oriented. Because these guys are good, so show them off.
Sometimes we can't decide who's going to do the solo, so we just split them in half and switch off. And that way we both get to do it.
Very easy. These guys work together great. Most bands go, that's my solo. Or, you did the last one. These guys are like, you want to do it? I don't care. You do it.
Or we kind of know sometimes which song would require his guitar playing or which one might need some parts for me to do. So after
13 years together, you kind of know each other.
This is Brian's guitar, which he's been a nice guy and let me use for a couple of solos on the record because it just kicked butt. This is a 1958 Les Paul Special. I remember seeing when I was 15 years old, I played in a band with this guy that used to come to my house. We'd work on songs. I remember the day he opened his van up, showed me this guitar. So it's been through the state of Maryland to a couple different guys, and Brian picked it up from our old sound man, and he's been playing it ever since. And it's well broken in, and it sounds great. And
it's puke colored.
Hey. But this is happening.
Is that the one you puked on in Europe? We were over in London. We were mainly over there to do press, but we had 3 shows that we signed on to do. And the first show, where was it at? Do you remember where it was at?
Birmingham.
Birmingham, London, England.
England.
It was a little tiny club where we sat up on the floor. And we ate dinner. We were doing an interview with Kerrang or something. And this guy took us out to dinner. And it wasn't a very expensive dinner.
Pizza.
And Brian didn't agree with Brian very well. Go ahead, Brian, finish it.
Well, I puked.
While we were playing. It was like playing around, looking over. Where's Brian?
I was turning green the whole set. So it was.
You got uglier and uglier.
I know. Luckily, there was a pole right in the middle of the stage, so that's where I spent all my time leaning on this pole. So right before Don't Close Your Eyes, there was like a guitar switch. So I handed my guitar roadie the guitar and ran behind the amps. And I was like desperately trying to find a blank spot to puke in. And all I could find was like cables and wires and snake boxes.
He needed a bucket.
So I ended up puking under the drum stage. and it was at least 5 gallons came out. and right at the last minute, while it was too late, I noticed one of the roadies' little anvil cases laying under there. But it was too late, I couldn't stop it. And there was these fans that they blow out air onto the stage, and Donnie has one facing like right up at him, and his cheek went under there. And, all the smell started coming up through the fans after. Oh man!
So the whole place is pretty much gagging.
The whole club.
You guys are great.
That was terrible. I had it in my hair.
Yeah, it was gross.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Akira.
Munetaka. And we're Loudness. And we're in lovely California here in Hollywood somewhere, some hotel. Hey, man. Really? I have no clue.
No, we communicate amongst each other really easily. So, I mean, they do speak English quite well. They just, you know.
We speak a little strange English. Just he understands.
I understand. Kira will write the music. And I'll say, here, go write some lyrics. Get out of here. And then I go write lyrics, and then you know, when we get, you know, and I'll just come in and sing it the way I feel it should be. And if they have a different opinion on it, they'll say, you know, they'll just say, hey, well, why don't you try this a little bit different? And that's how it works. It's really easy. It works real well with us. Surprisingly well.
I have my own guitar company. This is a Killer guitar.
The Killer.
Custom made body, bird's eye maple neck, and also custom made original pickups. I made everything.
I've been in the band for 2 years now, and this is my second record with Loudness. When I was in Obsession, it was much more thrashy type of music. The musical differences are quite a bit different. My singing style has changed a lot. I'm doing a lot more singing now than screaming is what I did before.
Mike has a very broad range of his voices, and the way he sings for this album brings more variety. We toured with AC/DC and Striper and Motley Crue. They are very nice guys, lots of fans.
Well, we've toured in Japan twice already in Southeast Asia. We went into Hong Kong, Korea, Singapore, but not in America yet, so we're looking forward to coming here.
どうも、高崎明です。知ってるか？知らんやろ。
Come here,
Are we doing this stupid fucking thing where you're out of sight asking questions from a distance? Yeah. Jesus wept.
But it's better.
It's not better, it's just the way we do it now. It's not better.
No, it's better.
Don't tell me it's better, you know it isn't better.
No, it's better because...
I had a few words with Penelope Spheris about that. She said, what, you can't sit next to me? What is it, B.O.? They think I'm just sitting here, you know, talking.
Time, I guess, to work on this record and do things that you hadn't been able to do in the past?
That's the reason it's better. Because always before we were working against the clock. And I remember on the end of Orgasmatron we were still mixing the final track and they were moving the next band's equipment into the studio. And, you know, the producer was hanging around the studio going, you know, because he wanted to set up the desk and stuff. I mean, we were always working against a deadline. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, you can't do no more, you know. So stuff's gone out with vocals on it that were really bad, you know, because the throat had gone. Didn't have time to wait 2 days for it to get better, you know. So, and also guitar solos would be put on there. You say, it'll have to do, we've got to move on to the next track, you know. And this time we could do anything, you know, thank God for CBS, you know. They said, do the best album you can do. I don't care how long it takes. That was his words, Jerry Greenberg. What a stalwart man. I mean, he could have been opening any kind of amount of cans of worms there, couldn't he? For all he knew, we were going to go lunatic, Pink Floyd, you know, and take 2 years doing it. We just said, take your time, do whatever you want. And we delivered it pretty well under budget, almost. And also the fact that we were here helped, because we were in a strange town. It was like we were on tour. They couldn't go home to the wife down the street, you know. They couldn't get a cab home and then go into another environment. They were staying here, they were in the band, they were in like apartments, you know. And we were all, the only people we knew the best were the band in this foreign town, you see, so it was good. It was like being on tour, so there's more of a band. Calculate any of this album. I mean, it's not calculated. People are going to say that, and I'm just waiting for it. I mean, I know it's coming. But we didn't calculate any one track. We didn't say, let's sit down and write a slow song, or let's sit down. I mean, I wrote all these tracks before we came over here, except for one that isn't on the album, it's on the B-side of the single. But I wrote all of these things, and there's one about Los Angeles. And I know a lot of people are going to say, there are, you see. He's gone to Los Angeles, now he's writing about it while he's there. But I didn't, I wrote it in England, almost a year and a half back, before I even knew we were coming here.
So you're saying you're anticipating some sort of backlash against this record, maybe?
There's bound to be, man, because there are certain tracks on it that are radically different. Hey, radical, hey. Radically different from the stuff we've done before. But there again, you've got to look at it in this position. I mean, the stuff we were doing wasn't selling anyway. So, you know, the albums have been getting less and less sales, and they were getting worse and worse production. So why not go for broke? I don't mind about not being huge. I would just like to be satisfied with everything I've done. I mean, I'm living all right. You know, I make enough money to, you know, have a few hundred in my pocket and stuff. That's it. But I ain't no, I don't own any houses, and I don't have a flash car and all that stuff. And it really doesn't bother me. You can only live in one room at a time, you know. And that side of it never bothered me. I never wanted to be a millionaire, particularly. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, you understand? But it was never the thing behind it. What I wanted to do was play the music I wanted to play. But I was influenced by a lot of different people than the music you've heard on our records, because that's only one influence, or about 5 influences, whereas I've had hundreds. You know, I mean, I was influenced mostly by the Beatles, right? And by pop music then, which was more rock and roll than it is now. But I just wanted to play music, you know, and anything that I want to play is okay. Check. 2.
I'm Justin Broderick. I'm guitar and vocals for Godflesh.
I'm Paul Neville, and I play guitar for Godflesh. And this is Los Angeles.
And we're about to play the Country Club, California, Los Angeles. We're probably the heaviest thing people are ever going to hear in a coherent sense. I mean, there's loads of bands who just tune down and go, bleh. But like, we've actually got sound there, and it's actually unique, and it is fucking heavy. just present people with a lot of harsh, vivid visuals that we can relate to of things we really like, and then just present it to people we amalgamate all this stuff and then just shove it in people's faces and say, oh, what do you think? And we're not saying to people, think this, we're saying, what do you think? So we're trying to provoke a reaction. My existence is based upon like a sort of paranoid outlook on things, but I see like paranoia as awareness in a sort of similar. I mean, basically there is no dividing line really. I guess I see being totally paranoid as being totally aware.
We just like intense images, something that's like really strong.
Yeah, everything we use is intense and extreme because that's the only things we can relate to is extremities. The press in England, yeah, has been really, really favourable, and in Europe in general. The press in America is probably even more favourable, I think, in a way. I think we're getting better press in the States. We're getting better received. Slayer comes bursting out of it.
That's all right.
It's good. Slayer just burst in on it. It's pretty cool, that, isn't it? Our bass player, I mean, he listens to Beach Boys religiously. I mean, he loves the Beach Boys. I mean, he collects all the CDs. He loves the Beach Boys. And that's probably the most extreme, far away thing I could think of. But then again, in a lot of the purity in their sound and stuff, the way they do things is probably very close to what we do sometimes. We played with Killdozer once. I don't know if you're familiar with people are familiar with Killdozer, but we played like a lot louder than Killdozer, and we played with like something like 8,000 watts, total full power. And we know of one person in the audience who actually lost their hearing that night totally. There was apparently a couple of women who actually orgasmed through the volume. I don't know, I'd like to add thanks to Hard and Heavy for being on this video, because I mean, we probably don't fit into the whole genre really that well. But it's great to see that we are. I mean, this has crossed over instantly already. This is causing something which is different. And something to add is just for people to start appreciating and opening their heads to something unusual. You know, for people who just solely listen to metal who are watching this video, I'd like them to listen to Godflesh and just appreciate something which is more mind-numbingly heavy. If people want heaviness, then they've got it here. I mean, there's nothing heavier. But we're not saying that on a sort of, we're the heaviest band in the world. We're not going for that angle. We're just going for, we're Godflesh and this is what we do.
Orton's got plans for you, boy. They don't call her ball buster for nothing. Get in there, fucker.
Hi, I'm Matt Kramer, and this is Jason Beeler from Saigon Kick. We're in beautiful London, England, at the Limelight, world-famous nightclub. And we love it. Any hotel could be where the Beatles started out. Any club could be where the Sex Pistols played. Queen, you know, most of our favorite bands came from England. When I heard the Beatles, and I guess I can speak for Jason too, it was just something, it was old, but it was refreshing. They had so many different styles of music. They had, you know, Helter Skelter was just about thrash at the time. Then they had songs like Penny Lane, and then they did, you know, Help. So everything was in such a different area with them. They were just a band about songs. There wasn't guitar solos, there wasn't drum solos, it was basically this.
If you want to walk around in a rose garden all day and pretend like every day is a sunny day, and every day you wake up feeling great, and you go for a little jog, have some Perrier, and have a nice little power brunch with friends and fax each other things, and that's what life's about, that's great. But I mean, that's not my life, and that's not anybody else's life that I know. If we were totally happy, we wouldn't be very good artists, I guess. You have to have some kind of miserable part inside of you. If your records don't sell, you don't make albums, you make an album. I mean, and that's the end of it. So you have to sell records to keep doing it. But I mean, the first thing is that we do the best we can do, and we do what we want to do, and Atlantic's letting us do what we want to do right now. So until we get kicked off the label, we'll keep doing it.
Hi, this is Jeff Tate from Queensryche, and welcome to Seattle.
I'm Chris DeGarmo. I'm Michael Wilton. We were able to use an album which communicates with tons of people, you know, and we were able to write music that, you know, for us was creatively satisfying, you know, everything that we want to function as a band, and we also managed to get something out that hopefully, you know, raised a few questions to somebody about, you know, trying to take some responsibility for themselves. This album is a combination of very diverse musical and lyrical ideas, and it's different. You know, the last album was very cohesive. Everything followed one track after another, lyrics relating to one another like chapters. And we felt that we needed to do something different with this record, that we didn't want to get stuck in a mold of doing that every time we wanted to make a record from here on out. Certainly a conceptual album is something we'll consider again, I think, in the future. It was great to do, very challenging. We've never underestimated our audience, and I think they took the challenge. The challenge.
Hush now, don't you cry. Wipe away the teardrop from your eye. You're lying safe in bed. It was all a bad dream spinning in your head.
I think asking questions is a great thing. That's how you find out things. You know? I know there's a lot of things that really bother me. You know, you name it. And so I like to ask questions to find out why.
So here it is, another chance. Wide awake, you face the day, your dream is over.
We have underpaid teachers who are one of the most important blocks in our system to train our kids to compete with what's going on in the rest of the world. Technology in other parts of the world, we were talking about this today, is just exploding, you know? And we're not training our kids to become scientists, to compete with that kind of technology.
Or to not even compete, just to function in a high-tech world.
Yeah, and other countries are blowing us out of the water economically now.
Or has it just begun? There's a place I like to hide, a doorway that I run through in the night. Relax, child, you were there, but only didn't realize when you were scared. It's a place where you will learn to face your fears, trace the years, and ride the winds of your mind. Commanding in another world, suddenly you hear and see this magic new dimension. With the watching over you, I'm gonna help you see it through. We'll protect you in the night. I'm smiling next to you in silent lucidity.
The last couple of years, just reading science journals and things like that about the ozone situation. And I see it in this area, which at one time was such a pristine environment, and now we're having so much growth that, you know, it's amazing. You can't even get down the freeway anymore, you know, without gridlock. There's so many people driving cars. You know, the average car puts out over a ton of pollution a year. You know, think about how many cars there are in a typical city. And Seattle isn't even that big, 1.2 million, you know, and there's a lot bigger cities elsewhere in the world putting out, you know, 4 times as much. That's just out of a car. Then you got factories dumping tons of goo into the lakes and streams where our fish are, you know. Fish is the main, fish is the main source of diet, you know. Chemicals being injected, and they're raising chickens now that are square. Can you believe this? Because the breast of the chicken is the most delectable part of the meat, right? That's the preferred piece of meat. So they're growing these chickens with huge breasts, and they're trying to be efficient about it, so they're breeding them without having a head. So they're square-like, and they're keeping them alive by tubes that feed them nutrients.
And this is the only rock and roll interview this week that you'll hear this type of information.
You're safe from pain in the dream domain. Your soul set free to fly. A round-trip journey in your head. Master of illusion, can you realize your dreams are light? You can be the guide, but with you watching over you, I'm gonna help you see it through. We'll protect you in the night. I'm smiling next to you.
Jeff was just talking about environment and all these things. You know, it's hopeful and nice to see that the 90s, you know, there's a unified sense that I think anybody who's aware of things on a global level can feel that's happening. Suddenly, you know, people are aware of our environment, you know.
What a set of knockers. Oh, gosh.
Hi, this is Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and I'm in Brazil right now, and I'm going to tell you about a place that I went to with Glenn Tipton. It was called Centaurus, and actually Glenn stayed outside, but since he's married, he didn't go in. But you go in, and all these women come up, and they take all your clothes off, and they lock it in a locker, and then they give you a bathrobe. And then you go into another room, and they're all parading around, and it is like butt city. And I waited until I saw the one with the hardest butt go past. I went, her, and she came up to me, and she's going like, "Por qué?" And I said, "No, butter." I didn't know what to say to her. And the next thing you know, we're walking up the stairs again, another flight up. We go into a room, she locks the door from the outside, and I thought I had just participated in the beginning of a snuff flick. I'm looking around, pushing the buttons, air conditioning's coming on, the floor's vibrating. I'm expecting Conan to come out and chop my balls off. She comes back in with lingerie and a diving watch on. And I asked her what the watch is for, and she goes, "Por qué? Oh, tiempo." And so I figured it was like a marathon, so she put it this way. She took it out, she got it hard, she wrapped it up, she sat on it, pulled it off, cleaned it off, wiped it off, kissed it, tucked it in, put me outside. She gave me back my clothes, and I was on to another club. And that was all thanks to my good friend Glenn. Hangar 18 is a song about the military keeping intelligence from us about having aliens and foreign aircraft, which are alien aircraft, for lack of a better word, and the fact that they think they can withhold this information from us, and we're not going to find out. Well, somebody there is going to get a little bit scared and say something, which they did, and it's only obvious that you're only as sick as your deepest, darkest secrets, and the government's pretty sick. People with prosthetic makeup on, We have special effects. There's normal face paint. They froze us. We're in cryogenic chambers. We're playing live. There's doctors. There's a police force, a special security police force that the government has called the Men in Black that was there. They had firefighters and asbestos. They had some pretty cool nurses. And there's a couple aliens too that I wouldn't mind. I'll tell you, it was very grueling playing there because we were there was like a hole cut out in the floor that went down approximately 4 different levels. And each floor was about 15 feet high. So standing at ground level, you're almost 60 feet above the base of the hole in the floor. And then we had a stage up on top of that. And it was made out of wood and it was rickety. And they had a guardrail that went around it that was screwed into the plywood. So, I mean, if Junior would have farted on the handrail, it would have blown off. And the next thing you know, they're saying, okay, get real close to the edge, Dave, and headbang. And I'm going like, the guy that did the video came out on the road with us, and we were trying to give him an idea of what we were about. We let him see us perform live for a couple shows. He watched what goes on in the front and in the back of the bus, and in the dressing room a lot. You know, we did headlining shows and we did support shows. It's pretty unique when you take an outsider in to document the band for a song that has nothing to do with their personal life, and to let him see the personal life so that he can document the band at a song. I think there's going to be a really personal side of the video expressed. I was kind of worried that, you know, I mean, you know, with all the promiscuity that's been happening in the 80s and stuff like that, and the transmission of AIDS everywhere, so I thought I was going to catch something, but she gift-wrapped Mr. Willie, and I was okay.